Gotta say it's Friday and we're having fun, and we've had an exciting day today.
Oh, that's cute. I like the way you call it an exciting day. I don't know that I would call it exciting. It's got me a little.
We're rolling for with the punches. So
Yeah.
we started out. We were gonna have a cosplayer as a guest today, and
So we were gonna have a cosplayer as a guest. I've been really wanting to have a cosplayer on. I've been really wanting to have a guest on because I think people are tired of hearing us talk and hearing just our opinions about things. So I
Yeah.
think that they would like to see us talk to some other people. But this happens a lot. So we're not famous. We're not doing anybody any favors and making them famous. So people don't really want to come on your show. And then
but that not you say that because you get down on yourself, but there's no small like I'll collaborate with anyone
you will.
because you don't necessarily have their same audience.
I realize
Their same
that.
audience may not know you.
I realize that, but a lot of people are looking at you and I thinking, yeah, sure, like I'll go on your show. And they say that in a snap and then they do a little research and they're like, oh, well, oh, so no. I have a family emergency, or like, I ran out of money and my car broke down and I'm coming in from San Marcos, or, I've heard lots of elaborate excuses about why guests can't come on the show. And maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like, and we've actually heard this, we've literally heard this from a guest before who was on the show and thought that their stuff didn't stink and really told us to our faces, like, I'll never do your show again because it's so small time. It doesn't do anything for me.
And because of that, I'll never buy his
like, I'm
meat
bigger
rub.
than you and you're not important kind of thing.
I'll never buy his meat rub that he sells.
We're not naming names,
in
Vincent
San
Edward.
Antonio
Vincent.
at the flea markets.
Will you please stop naming names? We're not doing that.
I didn't name a name. I didn't name a name.
We're not giving specific directions of who this is. Not gonna happen. So I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little cranky. I really was looking forward to having this person on because I think that they're talented. And I would like to get some tips from them for our audience and for ourselves. So, especially for me, for makeup, y'all probably see that my face is like all beat to the nines today because I really tried to do makeup. So we switched because we didn't get our cosplayer.
We didn't get our cos, so we switched.
So then we were like, okay, let's switch gears.
Well, I was trying to get another guest to fill in, so I tried to looking for another cosplayer, but they seem to be like out, or I mean, it's short notice.
It's short notice for everybody else, so yeah.
So you see PuroRides on there. So what's happening here is I contacted Dale Bracey, and
who we love. Who's great.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
But it was super short notice.
Super short notice. So he's going to be filling in. So he'll be here shortly, but we didn't know if he was going to actually make it. So he's going to be here in a little bit, but we didn't know if he was going to actually make it. So we made a backup plan.
So we had a backup to the backup to the backup. So then the backup to the backup to the backup was we were going to talk to you guys about how to do Geek at work. And I think we may still do that one of these days. But one of the things I wanted to do was...
I have the thumbnail created for it already.
I wanted to show you guys how you can do kind of like a version of cosplay, but at work. And so I have this kind of Smurfette look that I do for myself. Like I imagine that I'm Smurfette because I like more Smurfette because I'm a dork. And so I was trying to do the makeup and do the blue eyes, and I even watched makeup tutorials. Like I don't normally girly it up, and I tried to do like highlights and contour my cheeks, and I look ridiculous, but whatever. I was gonna try to show you guys.
That's not true.
How to do that.
And hopefully our audio is a lot better because I did an audio test earlier this week, and we should have really good audio this week, and you won't have to like turn up your volume all the way to 100%.
That would be great because we actually got a review.
Yeah, we did get a review today.
What's the name of the reviewer? Because I've never seen him before, but he has a lot of subscribers.
Dusty Porter.
So Dusty Porter, I don't know what else he does on his channel because I haven't looked on his channel, but Vincent just showed it to me. And so he reviewed not necessarily our video content because he didn't have time to do that in this show, this particular show that he was doing, but he just kind of reviewed like how we present ourselves out on YouTube and and what we're showing off to the people and to get people to watch us, basically. So, and audio was one of the things he dinged us on.
Yeah.
We got a B minus.
We got a B minus. Yeah.
That's not great, but it's not like horrible. Like it's not F, that's for sure. It's not C or D, which is for sure.
I mean, if we were A or A plus, we should be making lots of money right now.
You would think. You would think. So if we were an A or an A plus and we were still this poor, then maybe there's something else wrong.
Maybe there's something wrong.
People really hate us. Do you hate us, Stuart? No?
I'm here every week.
I'm here every week.
So that explains it.
It must not be that horrible if Stuart comes for free every week. Bless his heart.
We have Boss Squad watching us now, right now. Geek Out SA, yay.
Yay, hey, Boss Squad.
We have Black and Silver Diamond. Hey, guys. Hey, how's it going?
Black and
And we
Silver
also
Diamond.
have Adam as well. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Adam is one of the guests that I'd like to have on the show. We were actually talking about that. I think I'd like to do something, Adam, and I'm going to spring this on you live. Do something with you and talk about maybe, you know, like the family that geeks together or something like that,
Yeah.
and how that kind of builds those relationships, because we see you out there on YouTube with your kiddo and how nice that is. So.
Boss Squad says, I'll be a guest. Haha. He's like, you've been a guest before. That's Chris. X.
Oh, Chris. Sorry. I know who you are. I was like, I didn't know his name on YouTube was
Because
Boss
we
Squad.
used to call him Exofear. And
I'm sorry, Chris. We still call you. We still call you X whenever we talk, because we remember from back in the day when
Wait,
we.
what Chris? Chris?
I'm like, Chris.
X.
And then when he tells me X, I know who he's talking about. So I hope y'all are taking Vince out for his birthday, because I have to go to school. Vince's birthday is on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be 44 years old. He's going to be old as dirt.
Wah, wah.
Stuart's throwing things from the ow, ow.
That night live says, I'm down.
Nice.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
So-
So we would like to have a cosplayer on.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
put
yeah.
a call out on the cosplayers group of San Antonio on Facebook, and I actually got some people that came back that said they wanted to be on.
Mm-hmm.
And the person who was supposed to be on tonight, they said yes, and so I
one
went
of
to
them said that she was the Annabelle doll. I think I remember that. She actually won one of the prizes that we had there.
Yeah, yeah. So
So-
she wants to be on, but I didn't want to have like all the cosplayers back to back either,
Mhm.
because I think that our guests would get tired of cosplayer, and like I already have something set up for May 4th, because you know if you're not a good geek if you don't know what May 4th is. So I have somebody set up for May 4th already. I've gotten that taken care of. We should have an artist coming in who's going to talk to us about doing
Oh, that's who we're having on May the 4th. Okay,
some.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And I do hope that other cosplayers that reached out to me, I've reached out to them and told them that I wanted to kind of spread them out. So one of them's available in May and one is in June. So I'm hoping eventually we're going to get you some cosplayers. I know we've had Nolan, I always forget.
Nolan
Create on before, but I'm hoping that he's going to start once he does his...
He just changed his name. It's Nolan Create now.
Yeah.
So.
Once he does his large format 3D printer, he was doing some cosplay stuff, so I hope he's going to do some more cosplay stuff and show us some of that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this really cool video this week of this girl, and she doesn't do the 3D printer, but I thought that maybe Nolan could. She takes these high heels and she uses like silicone and makes a silicone mold and pours some polymer resins into it, and she makes like hoof shoes. So if you want to, like for the Ren Fair or whatever, if you want to have shoes that look like hooves, and she paints them and everything and
wow.
puts the little fur around them. And I was like, isn't that cool? And that looks like something that you could 3D print, that hoof part.
Yeah.
And then you would, you know, maybe build the shoe up around it. I think it's really, really interesting how she does it. So she takes the heel off the back though. And I'm like, how does that, I feel like I would fall. I don't feel like that would have enough stability like you would fall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The video was really cool. I was like, that's a cosplay thing that's really, really neat.
And that was somebody from here? Or?
No. It was just a video that I saw that somebody was circulating around. So
You
I
have
was
pretty
like,
nifty crown there.
yeah, it's yours. I stole it. Mine is silver, but this one made me feel like Diana. So I was like, Wonder Woman. I don't know. I was feeling like I had too much makeup and just the shirt because I changed out of the other stuff that was like work appropriate clothes that was like fancier that went a little more with the makeup. So then I was like, the t-shirt doesn't go with the makeup. I don't know. I'm not very good at being girly, but I try. So I was like, I needed like a headpiece or something. Did you just roll your eyes at me on camera? Oh my god. You're the worst.
That's how I roll. So no,
That's how you roll, really.
We've been rolling with what this day has been throwing at us, so
Yeah.
it's good. It's good. It keeps us on our toes.
I guess.
It's not great. I don't know.
So while we're waiting for our guest, we're just kind of talking to you about our day, but since we're talking about things that just kind of happened today, I don't know necessarily if this is geeky or if it's more like because we're children of the 80s, this like gets me jazzed, but you and I were
geeky.
You and I were watching earlier.
Yeah.
And tell everybody what like we were watching.
Well, there is going to be a new Bill and Ted movie, so that's going to be it. It's the third installment, so
they're so old. OMG.
Yeah.
They're old. Keanu is 54. So
because it's like it's 30 years later.
30 years. When they said that in the interview, I was like, please stop saying that out loud. That is terrible. 30 years after Bill and Ted.
Black and Silver Diamond says he can be earlier than you.
Probably. I'm not very good at it. So there's
I don't
like
know.
I watch a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race to try to learn how to be a girl.
That's the wrong thing to watch.
I love drag queens. I would totally be a drag queen if girls could be drag queens, but you can't because you're already a girl. So it kind of defeats the purpose.
It's weird how some of them are like geeky, super geeky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the new ones that do a lot of that pop culture makeup, or they do like a cosplay kind of, drag queen outfits and stuff. I'm really liking it. Nina Bonina Brown is one of them, and Kimchi is another one. And they do very much like geeky outfits, and a lot of them are kind of bringing their geeky side into it now more and more.
Nice.
How funny that it was more acceptable for them to be drag queens first than it was for them to be geeks, and now they're bringing it in. Says something about being a geek, but
Well, I mean, it's very multifaceted, and it's able to be adopted by a lot of different people. So,
well, yeah, I mean, we've seen geek pop-up restaurants that have different kind of geek foods, and you can do geek
well, like the Hello
dinner
Kitty
parties
thing with
the little Hello Kitty
little
truck
food
that
truck.
goes around. I think that one of the things that has made it even more mainstream and even easier, and even like cosplaying now, I think is easier for people too, is through Pinterest. I think they get on Pinterest and then they can find the looks that they like and either look at the pictures long enough to kind of see what somebody is wearing and copy it, or if it's a blog or something, then you can just go to it and read them, or if it's a video, you can watch them making that. I've always liked doing like cosplay on a dime. You and I always did cosplay for the kids at the thrift store.
Yeah.
Even for ourselves.
You still can find stuff there that I still use today. What do we find, like the overall for the sneaking suit for Solid Snake?
Yeah, that's like a mechanic's. It's like a mechanic's jumpsuit that we found. Just happened to be the right color, and then we used like skateboard.
Yeah.
Right, pads and stuff that I think you had for when we rollerbladed, and then like just black cloth that we found, right? That we made strips and we put some strips like around you.
I think we had some like backpack straps.
Yeah, we did some of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of crafty. I loved that costume. I thought that costume was the bomb.
Yeah.
Like you really looked like
really good.
We did a really, really easy one for our youngest son. Remember when we did Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
Oh, yeah.
Super easy. Black suit, top hat. We found like fur at Hobby Lobby. I think it was like $1 for a sheet or something, and we cut out the beard for him and kind of like made it look
Now he
shaped
can do his
and
own beard. So
yeah, now he grows his own because he's older, but he was little. And then Vincent helped him make this vial, and y'all burned paper or something, right? Like burned a pile of paper or something. What did y'all do to make the ashes? I don't even remember.
I don't think I helped him with that. I think he did it on his own.
Oh, I thought you helped him make the ashes. So he had a little clear vial, and it was ashes, and it was glitter, silver glitter, and it was Edward from Twilight. So it was Edward's ashes, and he wore it around his neck, like he had killed Edward for Twilight. And then we just got a big giant dowel rod and put cardboard and made the axe head. Nick and I did that, and so then that was his axe to be Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter. So that was, people really liked that one, and that was super simple. Real easy to make.
Just to let you know, we will be talking about PuroRides if you're watching that for that watching this for that. But he hasn't gotten here, so they'll be here shortly.
We know a little bit of background about the Rides, right? So tell everybody a little bit, if they're waiting, what that's kind of about.
So what that is they're going to, this weekend, what it's all about is they're trying to do zero emission vehicles and giving rides downtown and doing that for this weekend.
Just trying to cut some of that air pollution we have here in San Antonio. So it's interesting because I didn't realize, I guess, think of us as a cleaner city. I don't know why I just automatically do that. I guess because I think we're better than other cities, or I don't, because we're a big city that seems like a small town. So I think that I think of us as a cleaner city. But one of my students is actually doing his year-long project about the air pollution in San Antonio and how it actually is on the rise. And he's trying to build, his little cute self, is trying to build like an air filter to work out for your home to try to make it so that you're not getting as much of that air pollution from outside into your home.
I know they did a thing where they did scrubbers up in the air to get the CO2.
Did we do that here in San Antonio?
We didn't do that here.
I can tell you guys are really, if you don't want to do just the ride share or the low emission rides, which is a good thing, and I can't wait to hear what Dale says. But I've been doing a lot of research through my master's program, is planting native plants. Plants that are native to the area fix carbon better than other plants when they take in that carbon dioxide. And so they're getting that out of the air better. So yeah, you want that beautiful yard that has all the Bermuda grass and everything, but you don't really. You really want to actually go like to the native seed company or somebody like Rainbow Gardens or somebody like that, and you want to buy native grasses that are native to Texas that are actually adapted better to our environment. They fix the carbon better. Plant a wildflower garden in your yard. Oh man, I just lost. There's blue mist, which is a native Texas plant that actually attracts the monarch butterflies. There's all kinds of things that you can do to attract the bees.
Don't do xeriscaping.
Don't xeriscape. That actually has the opposite effect and actually makes it worse. So, but planting the native plants is very easy, and it makes yard work easier. The grasses that are native to Texas, now some of them don't get the big blue stem because it grows 6 to 10 feet tall. But some of the other ones, they are smaller, lower grasses because they're adapted to our heat and because they're adapted to the level of water that we get. So really, you just let them grow to their regular height and you just let them live, and they're fixing carbon, and you don't have to mow your yard as well. And then you're not running the gas-heavy lawnmower. We tried the electric lawnmower, but I blew it up. Stuart saw that. He's laughing over there right now.
And I always hated that thing.
I know.
Because you're tethered.
Right, you're tethered to the cord.
You're like,
you can buy the ones that have the battery charge.
They don't last long.
But they don't last long enough to do the yard. And then you have to charge them for 8 hours. So we have a pretty good sized yard. So maybe for some of the smaller houses that are really butted close up to one another.
Or just the front yard or something like that.
Yeah. But definitely, I mean, you can buy a pack of wildflower seeds pretty much anywhere. You can buy wildflower seeds at Dollar Tree. Just plant some of those wildflowers in your yard and let them go, and it helps to fix the carbon. If everybody, it's funny because I didn't know this. I'm gonna give everybody grass lessons, okay? Grass and plant lessons. Well, I didn't know that the front lawns for homes are actually modeled after cemeteries. Like I went to this really nice talk by people who were talking about that switch from that kind of open range, open look that we have, and then like parks and yards started being modeled after cemeteries. The cemeteries, they wanted to have this like pretty look of this grass, and that was when they started doing the grasses like that. And I wish I could remember, I wrote it down in my notes, and it's been a long time since I've been to this class, but there was some mayor somewhere that decided that looks really nice, let's do it to all the other places. So now the Parks and Wildlife are actually trying to reverse that and go back. And so they want all their parks to be native grasses for whatever state that they're in, and native plants and stuff. And so they're trying to regress back to the natives just to help us with some of this. So I wonder how much doing the ride share or doing the low emissions, you know, helps and impacts, especially here.
Zero emissions.
Zero emissions. Especially here in San Antonio, where unfortunately there's still a lot of hoopty cars on the road. I think that probably can't be good for us.
They're like spewing out smoke.
But you know, we're not high on the socioeconomic ladder here either. So, you know, you got to drive what you got to drive.
But then when you look at us and compared to like LA, there's a big difference.
Big difference. We still don't have the massive amounts of people that they have either. So, and I know that VIA is also they are working on greener vehicles for the buses.
Aren't they doing a lot of them are natural gas now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
that's
another one.
Other
I don't know what kind of emissions that is. Probably a lower emission.
Lower.
They could just not run them, and that would be much lower. Nobody rides VIA anyway.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of.
No, I wouldn't. I've ridden VIA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I haven't ridden it in a long time. When I used to ride it back in the 90s, it was packed. It was full.
It's not now.
Not now. I wonder if Uber is taking over some of that. Maybe.
Probably.
So Uber's back to the drawing board since their car killed that lady. Did you see that?
Oh, with the
driverless car.
Driverless car.
I mean, we all want this, right? We see this in our sci-fi movies and stuff, and we want to go to our flying cars and our driverless cars, and we want to get in and like let our car drive and then be mad at it because it's not going fast enough or whatever, and take over like you do see in the movies. And
But didn't this bicyclist just like go just across the street, like
I think it was something where it was an unexpected. The person went out unexpected, and so the algorithm just didn't know to look for that or something. I don't know. They were talking about it because
the big problem is if they had self-ride bikes, they wouldn't have a problem because the bike would talk to the car, and that wouldn't happen.
Right. Because then everything would be talking to one another. So, but I've looked at the algorithm that they had to build, and the computer science is like so far over my head. But my students and I watched it just to kind of get a general idea because we didn't even know how it worked at all. So, but just to have to, all the axes is that it has to look on, and all the possible things that could happen at each intersection, and they have to build so much into it with all these different possibilities. But ultimately, all of these electronic things are built by human beings, and human beings are flawed. So,
And still, it's not as fast as a human being can react.
Right.
Because we're processing things much faster than that technology, but it's not always going to be that way.
Not always. Not always.
There's going to come a point in time where artificial intelligence will exceed our capacity.
And is that something we really want to happen, I wonder?
Skynet.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've watched too many movies. I'm very concerned about Skynet. I've also watched WALL-E too many times. Seen a bunch of fat humans sitting around in machines, up in space while the Earth is destroyed. Doesn't seem...
Or that recent X-Files episode.
Wait.
The one where they were sushi.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Yes,
The sushi
that
bar,
one was
yeah.
weird. I was like, stop, everything's trying to kill you. And that's the other thing, like when the machines try to kill you, what do you do?
Well, they weren't trying to kill. They just wanted a tip.
Well, they just wanted a tip, but
They just wanted a
they're
tip and a good review.
and a good review. But can you imagine, like, I don't want to leave you a tip. Oh, yeah, well, I know everything about you. I'm going to burn your house down. Okay, I give you a tip.
Oops.
I'll give you a tip. I'll give you a tip.
So I don't know. We're getting closer to that, and I don't know.
I don't know, because it's interesting because I just read a few articles about a lot of the people that are in Silicon Valley and a lot of these higher executives and everything, they have taken their kids offline and they've made their kids unplug. And they're like, we've pushed all of this on all the rest of you and we've realized that this is not healthy. So we're going to get all of our families, we're going to stop doing that to them and we're going to make them healthier and make them better problem solvers and do all this stuff. But the rest of you guys, you know, be mindless machines. And
I've gotten to the point where I don't use this as much as I used to. So I'll go, like, if I'm going to like a meeting at work, I'll leave it at my desk.
You're a liar.
No, I like at work. I'll leave.
Oh, yeah,
I'll,
at work.
at work, but
I'll
not,
leave it at my desk.
not after the show.
Yeah. After the show, you can't put it.
And if I'm watching TV or something,
When he's watching TV, he puts it away.
I put it
He's
away.
always fussing at me because I'm always on it when we're watching TV. And he's like, just put it away. Just put it away. I have a hard time putting it away because a couple of reasons. One is because I have really low self-esteem, so I'm always looking for constant affirmation. Somebody, for the love of money, tell me that I'm good enough, that I finally believe you, right? And the second thing is sometimes I'm watching stuff and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. They're talking about this too much. Okay. Oh, look, shiny thing on this. Or that reminded me that I was going to look this up. Or I wanted to know about that. And so then I'm like reading an article and watching TV. And so I have that. I have developed that problem.
And for everybody that's watching, please follow Colleen on her Twitter.
Yeah. Ghost_Colleen.
Oh, I already put that post out way too many times. I have already begged for followers and I got a whole 8. I'm like, whatever, I'm over it.
Yay. You have 8.
I have 8.
You know how many I have?
You don't use Twitter.
I've got a Twitter account, though.
But you do, you use it?
Oh, hell no.
Okay, well, I've been tweeting every day. I tweet every day on my business account because I actually have a business account as an educator because I am trying to grow my brand as an educator so that someday maybe if I start a different kind of business for myself that people know that I'm a good, sorry about that, that I'm good at my job. So I'm using Twitter as an educator to kind of show that I'm good at my job and that I'm capable in my job. But I would like to start using this one to kind of get to be myself. Because you definitely have to have that work persona where you're very kind of guarded and you don't actually get to be yourself and you don't always get to talk about all the things that you like. And I still have to be somewhat guarded and thoughtful in what I do when I'm on Twitter, even as myself. But I like the freedom to get to be myself a little bit more. I feel like I spend so much of my day not getting to be who I truly am. Although I do try to fit it in.
Yeah.
But it's hard. But it's hard when you're trying to be like responsible and an adult and in your head you're like a little dorky nerd. Like
Yeah. And then being on some things you don't want to necessarily go for the politics talk because then
I would never.
you get crucified
can't.
on there depending on what you happen to say.
Yeah.
So I think all of us are, well, a lot of us are guarded in that respect.
But a lot of people aren't. A lot of people just like let it all fly. And I think it depends on what business you're a part of too. Like you're a little higher up where you work. Again, you too have to have this certain professional persona that you have to carry around, right? Because of the level that you're at work.
I can't act the same way when I did when I was 21.
Right, exactly. You know, and then a lot of our friends are tabletop game developers, so they work for themselves, so they can be whoever they want to be because they're not going to fire themselves. So, and Stuart just doesn't care what anybody thinks, so he just be himself.
I just post about cats. That's what the internet's for.
You just post about cats.
They want cat, and they want
You're
cat
like,
talk.
this is fat
It's all
cat.
about cats.
All about the cats. So,
Which is odd because I have like 17 Facebook accounts because of all the businesses I own, and I post nothing on there.
really?
Yeah.
I try really hard to post on Geek Out Essay like 4 to 6 times a week. It depends on if there's something really big coming up. Although we've been losing a bunch of followers on Facebook. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't post on the Geek Out Essay Twitter very often. I do my business Twitter every day for my being an educator because that's the number one priority for me in my life is to be an educator. For me, that's it. I like this. This is like a hobby thing that you and I do. It's nice. And, you know, I mean, I wouldn't like tell people don't give me money. Like if they wanted to one day be like, you guys are great. Like we'd like to give you a show on G4 or something. I don't even think G4 exists
It's not
anymore.
a thing anymore.
We'll take it.
I'll take it.
We'll be the new G4.
No, restart G4.
Reboot.
Or like,
We'll call
I
it
think
Geek
that-
Out USA, and then
and Stan Lee could be on.
Stan Lee could be on.
I'm going to say this because I can. And I'm just going to start saying things that I want to because I'm going to try that out and see how that works. And Vince is probably going to slap me after this, but here we go. I
I'm not
think
gonna slap her. but-
that
I can mute a mic at any stage you want.
He doesn't slap me, I'm just kidding. He would never
nod
hit me.
when you want me to stop.
I think that certain San Antonio local morning shows are probably the worst things I've ever seen. And they've been on John Oliver a couple of times because of how embarrassingly awful they are, like embarrassing to the nation. I really think that Vincent and I could do a better job than those people. So if you wanted to pay me a boatload of money to go take over that show because it's super awful, I'd be glad to do that. Just saying.
Got to pay.
You gotta pay. But it's really, really awful. Y'all should really consider doing something about it. Again, I'm not naming names, but if you live in San Antonio and you watch any kind of morning TV, or if you watch John Oliver, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Because they've been in there several times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super embarrassing. It's so bad.
Like this one show.
Yeah. And I've tried to watch them before, and it's really, really awful. Like, super awkward and awful. Like, I feel like, I hope we're not that awkward.
Oh, like the because sometimes I just turn on the TV and it just like the cable defaults to that certain channel. So I'll just leave it there.
He just leaves it.
So I'm not the only one that does this, apparently.
Oh, no, I saw you and Phil Nelson had your little buddy thing going on. He's like, oh, no, I just turned TV on and I'm watching it. I don't even like it. Turn the channel! Pick something you like. Go to the History Channel or something. No. He's like just sitting there and he's like, and then he's on his phone. That's when I know that you've left it on a channel that it just defaulted to, and because you're on your phone. If you turn into something you actually like, you're not on your phone. But when I walk in and the TV's running and you're on your phone, I'm like, this fool. Turned it on, left it on the default channel, and then was like, don't like that. But won't change the channel.
No.
Won't. Doesn't change the channel.
It's too much work.
Why?
Or there's like nothing on either.
We have so many channels.
How can there be nothing on?
Yeah. That's not even possible.
Nothing else that I want to work to find anything.
Right. So again, you know, clicking the buttons is too hard. So he leaves it on the default channel.
Don't worry, we'll have a robot for that soon.
He'll be like, Alexa, please change it to channel whatever I like for history and stuff.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
See, she's not sure.
She's not sure.
She doesn't know how to do it. The only thing she can do is turn the lights off and on.
Alexa, war, what is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
You only know that because I did that with her. I think she does What's Love Got to Do with It by Tina Turner too, but I can't remember if that's one. Or maybe that's one she wouldn't do for me and it made me mad. I don't know. I try to do all these things with
Alexa,
with
what's love got to do with it?
According to poets, writers,
Oh, no.
artists, and musicians, I'd say a lot.
Yeah, no, that's not the one she does. She does some other. I keep trying these things with her to see if she'll respond. I want her to like.
There was something that
Be
we
cool.
sent that was like really a response. I forget what it was for.
I don't know. She's not impressing me yet. I'm kind of mean to her. I'm kind of weary.
Calls her mean names.
I'm kind of, and then I think about it and I'm like, one of these days she's going to be Skynet and I'm going to be first to go because I've been so mean to her all this time. So lately, whenever I tell her to like turn things off or on, I tell her thank you. So she won't blow me up.
That's alright, I still abuse her, so. Come after me first.
I'm a terrible person. Take off. She frustrates me. I want her to do more stuff. Like she's hooked up to the internet. Why doesn't she know things?
Poor Alexa.
Like, I just want to know why she doesn't know things. All right. Your buddy is like, are you sure he's even coming? Because he said 30 minutes and it's been a lot longer than that.
I'm checking.
Okay. I'm like, I have messages, but it's not from anybody who would be a guest on this show. No, actually, I was going to ask our son if he wanted to be on tonight so that we could talk about some of the cosplay that I've done with him and how much he used to hate it. Yeah, no, he really did. He wanted us to have money because he used to go to, say, in Japan with us and he would go to MizumiCon with us. And he wanted us to be the kind of people that had money to buy the $500 cosplay outfits that he saw some of the other people have. We just didn't have $500 with 3 kids. You sure as heck can't shell out $500 for each kid
He's actually here now.
that wants an outfit. So,
So we're switching to Colleen.
yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit about how much my kids hate me. So, so we did the Vampire Hunter thing. I've done like an Ash Ketchum where again it was all thrift store stuff. One time he wanted to be Invader Zim so bad. And so I made him just a mask. Like I hand drew it. It took me forever. I made him a mask. I fit the holes perfectly with the string and everything. I sewed, like I found stuff at the thrift store and sewed him the little with the zipper and everything. I thought it was good. He wouldn't touch it. He wouldn't wear it. I went to all this trouble and did all this stuff and he wouldn't touch it. He didn't want to wear it. He just wanted that store-bought stuff that I couldn't afford. I was trying to think of what other ones. We did Cloud Kicker or something I did that for my oldest son. And we had to make a sword that was like taller than him. And we made it out of cardboard and tin foil. That was super huge. Hi, Dale. You can come on in. And here's your mic. We'll get you mic'd up. We started because we didn't want people to be wondering since we normally start at 7. And then we just thought we'd bring you in when you got here. So I'm just talking to the people out in La La Land all by myself about how much my kids hate me. So this should be you.
Songs for reading.
Yep. And then we kind of talked about your rides a little bit just to kind of preempt people to let them know. But you're going to talk more. And oops, that's just me. Phone down. I didn't need that anyway. It was not important.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Can you hear Dale? Can't hear Dale. He's on. The thing is blinking red and green, red and green. Is it supposed to be doing that?
No.
What's it supposed to be doing?
Well, turn it off and then turn it on.
Turn it off and turn it back on. It was working earlier because I tested that mic. Is it supposed to be red or green? It's got batteries.
We're live.
That's a little bit better.
Did it die?
No, I changed it.
Uh-oh. What
It was
channel
on
is it supposed
60.
to be?
60.
Oh. What channel is it supposed to be on?
Whatever it was on.
60.
Oh. Well, it's just going up, like up.
Stop doing that. Go ahead and turn it off and then turn that off. And then it should
Oh, turn
Turn
it
it
off
on.
here. We like technical difficulties. It's our favorite pastime. Okay. Okay, so now turn it back on so it should sync up with that, hopefully. So say something, Dale.
Nope. Still on the other channel.
No? No mic for Dale? Okay.
You would think I know how to use these things.
That's okay. I'm going to let you talk to Dale. I'm going to let you talk to Dale since he was the guest.
Switch out the other
Here.
mic and you can use the one over there.
Yeah, I got it. Go ahead, Dale.
So welcome back and welcome to Geek. You finally made it to our show.
Yeah, sorry about
We're
that.
trying to get you on for a while though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Other things.
other things.
Yeah. Squeeze Yoda's head here real quick. Oh, it's his son. Sorry. Yeah, I made it.
Can you hear
Sorry,
me
I had a whole bunch of emails to be sending out. We're actively on this. This thing is in kind of a pre-launch phase for
Yeah.
everyone. So Amanda's been really busy and just kind of hammering us to get everything going. This is her big dream, and we're
Nice.
happy to help her see it through.
So tell us a little bit about what it is, because y'all keep saying it.
Okay, so a while back, she was part of one of the 3-day startups, and she did Puro tours. Or actually, it was started as boxes. It was like little boxes of things you can get that are very San Antonio.
Oh.
So instead of those little tchotchke boxes, it was more raw to the culture of things and smells and touches and tastes you could get here. And then that spun off into being more about doing tours. So then she had Puro Tours. And so that one is, we did a launch party for Halloween for her, where it was at the Lambermont Castle.
Mhm.
Big castle over there by the Air Force Base, I think, or by the base. And that project is tour industry, but more on the where do local San Antonians go? Not just, and to your left, here is the Alamo. It's
and
none of
go
that.
to
It's
Ripley's
it's
and-
none of that stuff. It's more of a, you want to go hang out with some people that are from here, you're out of town and you want to do it, or you live here and you just have no idea what to do, what to go, where to go. And that came from her just being very active in that type of community. She's always been out about.
That still goes on now?
That is something we started. It's on pause right now while the PuroRides part takes place, and then once we build and develop everything, then start picking up and taking on tours and getting all the other. We'll get into the rest of it, but getting all the other stuff into town so that we can actually activate and start moving forward and hiring staff and getting the business going, our businesses. So Puro Tours is the for-profit sister company to the nonprofit PuroRides. PuroRides is going to be a low emissions, short range, so first last mile. So we have buses and taxis and Lyft and Uber that can travel you around town, but Lyft and Uber is not going to take you 5 blocks. It's not worth it for them. And they're also not going to go inside in and out of different activity centers, or let's say there's an event going on at Alamo Dome, they can shuffle in around there.
Right.
So it's kind of like the pedicabs, but bigger. It's electric powered. It holds 6 people plus the driver.
Wow.
And
So I took a look at them and they kind of look
it's a tuk-tuk.
like a trike.
It's a tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
A tuk-tuk is a motorcycle. It has a motorcycle front, a little 3-wheeled vehicle with little, kind of like a little Thailand.
Just expand it,
Mhm.
extend it.
And added electricity and some cuteness to it and cool little top. And, we wrapped it last night. We were up till about 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning, having who was Marco from the so gonna mess this up now. Oh, sorry, yeah, the Creative Mango. The Creative Mango. He was out there wrapping it for us.
Nice.
And so where are you going to, where can people go to start? Like, what's the starting point?
So there's no real starting point. It's not
Okay.
it's not a go get on and kind of right. It's just rolling them around. It's just randomly going all around downtown. So
Hop on it.
you flag it down and hop on it. So right now she's been out. She charged it at Geekdom earlier this afternoon,
Right.
and it's gone through Southtown. It's gone through up and down the Broadway area. A little bit ago, it was down on Houston Street. A few people took pictures of it and posted it. Let's see, where else has it gone?
So
and
is
it's
it going to be
starting
like
out
on Instagram or Twitter or
it's
something
on
that
all of
people
them.
can follow it
Yep.
and find out where it is?
If you go to purotours.com, you can find at the bottom, you can find the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Where all the pictures are being posted of where they're going. Tomorrow, I might do a follow me on Google Maps. So I might put a, just turn on my GPS and let people follow me if I ride with it.
And how many of these vehicles are?
So right now there's one.
There's just one.
Just the one right now. It's just the promotional vehicle, right? It's a we have special permission to have it here in town. It's got a permit during the holiday weekend, during the Final Four, and during Easter, and it'll be from today till Monday, and it'll be just shuffling around. It's starting out in the Tobin Hill area, and then just going.
And these were built in Colorado. Is that right?
They are assembled in Colorado. Yes.
Okay.
There's a company up there, and we're actually talking to them about bringing them down here to do more.
Wow.
So what is the hope? What is the hope with these?
The hope is to have, again, the first last mile coverage, to have event transportation for if you have any kind of big events or big festivals, we can have them shuffling around in there, and to really just cover the small, not necessarily just inner city, but the denser areas where there's a lot of lacking in coverage and stuff.
And you've picked a really good weekend to trial.
Perfect
as well.
weekend.
Yeah.
Everybody's here.
the
It's all
Final
down
Four
there.
is here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it would be really nice if we could have a lot more. And if we had more funding, we could have probably leased more if they had them. But we don't. And so that's part of this is promotional time. We're getting it out there just to get people aware, getting people excited. There's little billboards on the side that we're selling ad space for it. So if there's a bar, a restaurant, local business, they want to put it on there, they can put their ad on the outside of it for this weekend. It helps them, it helps us, and it helps local San Antonio. So that's what it's all about. Her dream is to make this a local grown local thing for locals. It's all about local. I mean, she's been
Do you
here.
think is it going to have like a route, like a via? Do you think eventually? Or?
Not quite sure about that. I seem to recall that that no other industry can have scheduled routes other than
That's
via.
what I was wondering.
Right?
Because I was wondering what
So no, it would be more of a short range thing. Just kind of pick up and go,
So it's
more like a taxi.
Yeah.
But those are some things that are still being worked on.
Because I'm thinking like sometimes too, we go do things down in Geekdom or we'll go do something downtown, and a lot of the times you want to park at like that parking garage or something that you know that's only $2 or whatever. That's like over here.
Or free for 3 hours. We're not going to tell everybody
Yes,
what that secret
we're
is.
not gonna say what that
You
is.
know that secret, right?
But
I know that secret.
we know about some of these things.
It's a decent walk, but
it's
good.
a walk, right? So, but if we could find this and then be like, hey.
Yeah, if we could flag it down. So the big end goal would be there'd be a lot of technology behind it, right? It would have an app where you can hail it. It would have an app for tracking it, just like Uber and Lyft, similar type of thing. I'm actually talking to I guess one of the owners or employee number one is the guy who's driving it. We were talking last night and we have some ideas on how to upgrade it and add some technology to the actual tuk-tuk itself.
Nice.
So a couple little things
What do you
that we're
think the
modifying.
cost will look like eventually? Because right now this weekend it's for free, right? Just for people to
For
try
per
out.
ride?
Or are they charging this weekend?
No, it's free. It's
Okay,
totally
so this
free
weekend it's free just to try it
High,
out.
high fives are definitely requested.
Yes,
That is your payment.
Okay.
Please high five.
All the high fiving.
Yeah, all the high five.
So in the future, what do you think the price range would be?
I honestly don't know.
Don't know?
That's not my area.
That's okay.
I'm more of the
I was just curious.
promotions and technology
I've never
side.
done
It's
the
still
Cheap.
bikes. You know, because you can rent the bikes.
The B-cycles?
Yeah.
Yeah, those get pretty expensive. After
Yeah.
you have your first initial and then it's extra. What is
Because
it,
we
every
looked
half
at it
hour
one
or
time and
something?
I thought, really?
Yeah, they're pretty
To like ride
pricey.
my bike? I'm kind of lazy. I'm not down.
And then you have to, and then you actually have to drop it off at a certain place. You can't just.
Right.
My partner in another one of my ordeals that I'm doing, one of the other
one
ones.
of the many things.
Yeah, he is
Yeah,
very.
sleep.
I don't sleep. I go to bed at like 3 or 4 in the morning.
I know you do.
He's very adamant about the Lime bike. It's all over Houston, I think, and it's all over. Or where else was he? He was in Washington D.C., I believe. They are just they're GPS tracked bikes. You just drop them.
And somebody
leave
from
it,
the company
somebody-
comes and gets it, right?
the next person picks it up, and then they have a little trailer that goes around every so often. They do what I call it the defrag. They, if they get a bunch of them clustered on the app in an area, they'll go grab a couple. They'll move them out of the sidewalk up against the wall like they should be, and then they'll take a few and move them down the street and put them somewhere else for other people to get them. But they're kind of just shuffling them around.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
See, that's neat because you pick up the bike, you do your thing, you swipe the little thing, and then you just kind of go and I'm at my destination, park.
Right.
So this, from some of the things that I've looked at, it's more than just the tuk-tuk.
For PuroRides?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to start out as a tuk-tuk, and then Amanda has some other kind of, I don't want to say secrets, but
pedicabs or something like that.
Pedicab, yeah, the pedaled and electric, potentially.
But all low. We're still looking at all the low emission.
All zero emission, all cute, all fun.
Okay.
And I think there's a few other, there's probably 2 or 3 different, but all short range, zero emission, city center type and event transportation.
So it would be good for things like maybe like San Japan.
Fiesta.
You park at those areas and
Yeah.
you just want to quickly, or
I
if you're
think-
at there, you're, hey, I'd like to like maybe go over to like go to dinner it's like 5 blocks away.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've been at Fiesta too long and I need to go to a restaurant, but I can't walk. Can you take me there?
Why can't you walk? Does it matter how many cups you have?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
My cup stack is this
So
high.
the cup
I need-
tax is how much
Yeah.
how many.
Yep. I need a ride. Please help me. I don't know how to tell my Uber to get to me. I need to go eat something.
I always thought that was funny that you walk out, there's the big wagon there with SAPD is sitting right there, and you got this stack of cups that's like 3 feet tall, and you just walk by them, you're like, hey, what's up?
Yep.
But
You would
It's
think
like, what?
they
It's
would.
soda. It's soda.
it was I just picked it up from one of my friends.
I picked them all up. I found them on the road.
I was helping recycle.
Yes.
I'm gonna wash them out at home. I'm good.
I know, like
Doing something for the
one year we
environment.
brought
Yeah,
them
yeah,
home
totally.
because we thought,
And we needed some
But-
cups. I just got a house.
see, and we had too many cups, so I was like, what are we gonna do with these cups? Like, they went in the recycle.
They went to
bin.
Goodwill.
They went in the recycle bin.
I found a bunch at Boysville.
Oh really?
A whole bunch of them.
Yep.
I just went dumped them
They're
off.
like, here, y'all need cups. Fiesta loves you. That would be so fun though. Like if y'all like dressed it up for Fiesta and had flowers on it and stuff, and it kind of
Oh,
became its own like
Oh,
float
there's
thing that you
tons
got to
of
ride
ideas.
in. I would totally do that.
There's-
I would be so down.
there's so many ideas. There's different models. There's I just learned last night that they built one that had a little refrigerator and a mini keg in the back, and it had a little tap on the side of it there for a festival, and they would drive it around and be like go up to people, and they would just come and then they just take off. People come
I
up
just
the
want to
cup
sit in the back with like my feet up and mush, let's go.
It's super cool. It's got LED lighting in the top. It's different colors you can do. There's no music, but we're working on making a sound bar and.
So this one tuk-tuk has been going for how long?
This one
Today.
I think they woke up around. Let's see. They were on Great Day SA about 8 o'clock this morning. So they did a little tour with it then, and then took a short break for breakfast, and then went straight into it. And then I think around whatever time you messaged me about, what was that, about 4 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
So about 4 or 5 o'clock, they charged it just to get. I mean, I think it'll go 10 hours on a charge.
Oh wow,
I think.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so they just wanted to get a little boost before the end of the day.
So they're lithium batteries, or
It's definitely not lead. It's definitely not the big heavy ones, and but yeah, it's like a lithium or a something similar. It's not an AGM or a gel or anything. It's not and it's this really cool looking little pack. I pulled the seat up and looked underneath. I was playing with it. The owner left. I started digging around.
yeah.
Actually, no. We called their technician and talked to him. We had something that we needed to do. I had to replace a cable in it. So we called their tech in Colorado, and she told us how she walked us through it, and it ended up just being a basic PCIe cable. simple. But I got to think of the part.
You're like, I got to do certain
Yeah.
things, and I made it better.
I got to get in there.
So you do a lot of other things as well.
Sure.
You do labs.
Well, one of the guys at work says that my name Dale does a lot of everything.
That works.
Yeah, it
That
fits.
totally works.
Totally
yeah,
fits,
it does.
Shame to say, I kind of liked it.
You're like, I kind of got it tattooed on my face. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, it's kind of fun. Like, it's exhausting because Vincent and I do a lot of everything too. Not as much, but
Oh, you guys have a lot going on. I've been watching.
It's exhausting, but it's kind of fun too, right? Because then you get to like jump in and do these other things and stuff
I
like
think
that.
we sleep a little bit more than you do.
Do sleep more than you do. Did you have a hand in the Maker Faire this year?
Not this year,
at the
no.
Library.
No. Unfortunately, I wish I would have had time for that, but no. But we're doing another. Actually, Brett was just messaging me on the way in. The next weekend is the 50th anniversary of Hemisphere and the World's Fair.
Nice, yeah.
So we're part of that. We're doing with DoLab and with R26D. So Brett Elmendorf and Dirk Elmendorf's thing. We're doing the whole. So we're bringing back basically the World's Fair. So there's going to be different regions of the world and events and stuff going on all throughout Hemisphere. Music, culture, all kinds of stuff, food. And one of the pavilions that we're doing is Tomorrow Created. So back 50 years ago when they did it, they had a big pavilion where all these different corporations were doing really cool retro, all the new stuff that was going to be coming out that some of it probably never even came out that was existing. But it was the new tech. And so we're recreating that. And all the graphics that we have for it are very modern, but with the colors and the look and feel of back then.
Oh, that's so
You know,
cool.
they got the dudes standing in the lab coats over top of giant terminals, and all the colors are kind of pastel-y, comic book drawn looking. So the booth that we're doing is going to be we're going to actually build a machine-built, cut-out with a shop-bot house in the middle of the pavilion inside the building, and you're going to go in and experience home automation. So Amazon Alexa, we're going to have lighting.
She's right over there.
Oh, did she hear me?
Yeah, she heard you.
See, I changed mine to computer so it wouldn't do that.
Computer.
Computer. And she does it.
I love it.
Yeah. So all those things, so people can come in and they can experience it and they can get firsthand. 'Cause a lot of people aren't going to have access to that type of stuff. I mean, you know, while the dot is only $40, I mean, once you really get into it, it really gets expensive. So we're going to build a little living room in there and do it. One of the other exhibitors is CPS Energy, Epicenter, and Building SA Green, I think is the name of the group. Sorry, dude. But they're working together to do, green energy, home energy stuff. So I said, but they didn't know what they wanted to do. They're like, well, how do we mount this thing to our booth? They wanted to bring a power meter and whatever. It's like, why don't you just mount it to the side of our house on the outside, and we'll just have a booth together.
Right.
So we're just doing one big booth.
Just be one big,
So you come up, you talk to them about energy and home efficiency and home automation in the energy space, and then walk in the door and go inside and have a good old time saying weird things. And I'm going to have to figure out how I can do a test account on Amazon because I am not putting that stuff on my normal one. I don't want to look through that history.
And just deal with all of that.
There's going to be some weird stuff that's going to be said in that room, I'm sure.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know what people come up with.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's already weird enough with what I try to tell Alexa to do.
You should see some of the stuff my nephew has said at my house. Play what?
Do what? I don't think you can. No, stop talking.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, though, you missed the whole conversation because you didn't get to be here earlier, but I'm really kind of mean to Alexa sometimes. She agitates me because she won't do the things I tell her to.
She gets
tells me
saucy.
She can't, and she does. So then I was like, well, I think that maybe someday she's going to be Skynet and she's going to want to kill me first because I'm so freaking mean to her. So now when I tell her to turn things off and stuff, I tell her thank you.
You tell her thank you every time?
I do.
Oh, yeah. My pleasure.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I love. She has like 3 different ones.
Or she's like, it's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh.
You ever asked her to serenade you?
No, he asks
sings?
her to tell him jokes all the time.
She sings.
Yeah.
She
She
totally
does?
sings.
Yeah.
Well, I
wants
asked her to sing me a lullaby, and she said she didn't know any lullabies. But then he asked her something else, and then she did sing for us. I don't remember how he asked her, but she sang.
There's a few of them. There's a few different Easter egg songs.
Yeah.
There's one. She's no. I really can't. I couldn't. oh, okay, well, all right. And
Uh-huh.
then she just goes into it.
He always wants her to tell him that he's cool and stuff.
She doesn't do that, does she?
No, she's like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do that.
That's not something I can do.
I'm
Wants to
sorry.
compliment me.
How is usually defined as in what state, in what manner, to what degree, or used as a modifier.
See, and
to
then sometimes she does
indicate
that. You're like,
surprise,
what did she
delight,
hear?
or other strong feelings.
Alexa, stop.
That was not what I asked you at
No.
all.
No. Yeah, sometimes she doesn't hear you and she does weird things. And then you're like, I think my Alexa is cray-cray.
Just a little bit.
But it's fun. I've kind of, like, I hated her at first, and I kind of still hate her a little bit. But I have become much lazier now that I can turn on the TV, the cable, and all the lights in the house, and I don't have to do anything but tell the machine to do it.
Have you set up the whole house music part yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Link it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because he
He's
has
like-
3 of them, so...
Oh, let's see. Do you have your Pandora attached to yours?
No,
What do you have?
I have the Amazon.
Just Amazon Music?
Yeah, we just use, like, the iHeart
I was
and
gonna
stuff
see
like that.
what popped up last.
Or he likes to call me, like when he's driving home or something.
Yes.
Because he knows, like, I'm chilling or whatever, and then he'll randomly call me
From the thing?
from the car app, and then I hear his voice.
Have you done the drop-ins yet?
He
That's
does
creepy.
the drop-ins. Yeah.
Oh, from the app to the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, yeah. That can
Yeah.
get creepy.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
We use it for the inner-house intercom.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be downstairs. She's upstairs. You cannot hear upstairs at all.
Right, right.
And that's
That's why
wanna
he's
get another
decided
one.
he's going to buy a 4th one for upstairs, because that's now my crafting room and stuff, so that he can be down here working and I'm up there and he can just drop in on me.
Now, if you get the View, or the what's the round one now? There's a new one. It's like a little.
The little
It's like a View but round.
Mhm.
It's really
The
cool looking. It
smaller
looks like a alarm clock. It's cheaper too. If you get that, you can do video,
Yeah, that's true.
and you can do video
I can
from the
come
phone
down
to
the
it.
s-
Yeah.
Like, if you really need to talk to me, I can come down the stairs. I feel like
Yeah.
you guys that love the technology, though, like, you're
But
down.
the-
Like, he's
like,
super down. He
Drop
wants-
in on bathroom.
Yeah. That's what he wants to do
That'd
next.
be awesome.
Yeah. Stuart, help me. Take me away, Stuart. We need to have a whole nother show with Dale so that we can talk about all of this stuff. But unfortunately,
We're running
it's
out.
already like 8:05. So we've been like an hour and 5 minutes, and
Well,
we
cool, so-
promised our guests that our viewers that we would not go more than 45
I'm
minutes.
so sorry I was late.
No, that's totally not your
No,
fault.
no,
We
and-
totally booked you like last minute, and
Jerk.
just because he really wanted to talk about this, but we had already promised somebody else the time slot, and then they canceled on us. And
Oh, so I'm like back up.
well, he was going to talk about this.
That's what I
but
hear. I'm
I
just kidding.
didn't know. It was my fault. I sometimes get guests and don't tell him until it's too late.
It was
and then
perfect
he's like-
timing, actually. With everything that's going on, so it's cool.
Well, that's why he wanted to talk to you, but then I was like, oh, well, I
Yeah.
already scheduled somebody. He's like, oh, well, maybe you should tell me these things. And then I was like,
That sounds
oh,
like
just
my
kidding.
house.
And then I was like, oh, just kidding. They canceled. And he's like, really? Thanks for telling me. Could have had my guest on. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well,
My bad.
welcome to life.
All the
But
things.
yeah, but definitely. Yeah.
So go
I'm
check
gonna do
out-
a lot more stuff on that.
So go check out the rides.
Go check out the PuroRides, and then they're gonna be all in the downtown area.
Yeah, they're running around right now. If you hit up one of those accounts and direct message it, whatever. Actually, I don't know if I turned direct messaging on Twitter. Instagram and Facebook, just hit it on Messenger, and I'll pick it up, and we'll see where Amanda is, and you can hop on. If you see it running around town, flag it down, give him a high five, you get on.
Nice. All right. Maybe we'll have
Very
to
nice.
hunt him down tomorrow.
So thanks for checking this out, Dale. Thanks for coming, and
Thanks for having me.
It
Thank
was
you,
cool
Dale.
to hang out. But I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Stuart, and that's Dale.
Geek out, I say.